Hello everybody, Builder Guy here, and welcome back to the channel, and something entirely new. It's been a while, I fully accept the responsibility for that, but if you looked at my community posts, then you'll know just sometimes life happens in the last few months. Anyway, we're back to a new Let's Play series here on the channel, and I am going with Kingdom Dungeon and Hero by Kraken Studios. I have to say that Kraken Studios was kind enough to send me a copy of this game, actually quite a while ago when it was still in development. I just haven't gotten around to doing much with it yet, but now we're going to do a Let's Play series. I don't know about the length of the series at this point yet. That will be determined by interest, both myself as well as you, the viewer. Kraken Studios has created a few other games in the past. One that I reviewed here on the channel, War Plan Pacific. The history there is more around, or as far as Kraken Studios, what they've done are traditional hex and counter style strategic level war games. And Kingdom Dungeon and Hero is a little bit different. It combines both some strategic level war game along with kingdom management, but also many aspects of really classic Dungeons and Dragons, and kind of combining it all into a really unique game. I would say on the tabletop, I would compare this a lot to a classic Dungeons and Dragons type game, be that BX or AD&D. In more modern parlance, I would go with Adventure Conquer King system, as you can see here, kind of in the reverse with Kingdom Dungeon Hero, Adventure Conquer King. And what you do in this game, you're in control of a kingdom, but you also have adventures and adventure parties. You send them out, they delve dungeons. It's a really unique and fun game that kind of combines fantasy elements, of course, this is a fantasy game, of a strategic level kingdom management game, a war game, as well as a little bit of a, I would say, very streamlined role-playing game, not comparable to something like Baldur's Gate or anything like that, but it has elements of it, and I've had a lot of fun kind of tinkering around with it, playing with it. I don't have a ton of experience with the game, but I wanted to showcase it here on the channel and kind of see how much fun we can have. So we're going to start with a new game here today, and there are a number of scenarios you can go through. Here's a demo scenario. This is a great way to kind of learn the game. We've got the battle for Black Iron, Dreadmore Invasion, Earth Magica. This is an interesting one where it takes actual Earth and kind of ancient medieval times and puts in fantasy elements with it. So that's a lot of fun. Fallen Empire, the Isle of Nemora, the Realm of Erdi, and this is kind of the main storyline scenario. But I don't want to do that. Instead, we're going to go to Warlords. I don't want to do the main storyline just because, spoilers, in case you want to play this game and kind of see how it goes. Don't want to go into that necessarily, but we're going to go with the Warlords scenario, which is one that I really like because it's a procedurally generated scenario. So this isn't, no Steam achievements with this. It's a variable size map. The scenario complexity is variable. It's a randomly generated map with randomly determined resources, terrain, kingdoms, and so on. This is really, really an interesting way to play this. New mechanics in this version, in this scenario, we get settlers. The map determines how many settlers you have. Players can use settlers to increase the population of a location. Location should be selected based on need and strategic position. New settlers increase the resources of the location based on the terrain surrounding it. And a little luck, location's population may increase once per turn through the district's menu. You can play this single player, multiplayer, hot seat, whatever. Of course, we're going to play this single player against the AI. So we're going to click on start here. The generation time is a little bit longer. Of course, I'm not going to make you sit through that. So if we start here, this is unselect all of this. You can go from a small map size, you get 84 turns and 5 possible opponents, to medium, 120 turns, 12, large, 144 and 15 opponents, of course, huge, 180 turns and 25 opponents. Of course, we're going to do that. You could pick normal game, then you've got good teams and evil teams. Then you've got different things here that you can select. So scenario turns. So that limits the turns to 180, or you can turn it off and it's unlimited. But we're going to do that. I don't even know if we're going to get all the way to 180 turns. Again, that'll depend on a few things. You can play single player, hot seat, email, test. We're going to do single player. We're going to do no bonuses for anybody, whether it's computer production or hero bonuses, adventure difficulty. We're just going to set it all to normal. Now here on the left-hand side, well, first, before we get to that, here are some of the game options. You can play with hidden fleets. So fleets are hidden until they are revealed, or visible. So they're always visible, or fog of war fleets. The default is that they're visible, and I just as soon go with hidden fleets. Now you go with small adventures, so the adventure radius is 3 areas or 3 to 9 areas. So you can go with large, so it's more variable. So small is always going to be 3 areas. Large is 3 to 9. I like that. Allies, computer opponents are loyal with good relations. Opportunist allies, nature-aligned computer opponents might betray you. And I kind of like, do we want that? Opportunist? Yeah, let's do opportunist. Incursions, I'm going to play that with on, so incursion events of a faraway kingdom might happen. Now, we've got to the left-hand side here a big list of kingdoms that we can choose from. In each one, you see a little bit of a description. The nature, so you can almost say this is kind of like an alignment in a way, their structure. Advantage, so you can see Halidor. They are feudal, a kingdom ruled by an elected leader, selected from the Senate. While people are not equal in Halidor, they are not mistreated, although their privileges do not stretch as far as nobles. Ranked soldiers and senators are the highest on the social tiers. The current sovereign is Lord Lydair, who is a fair and competent ruler. Halidor has some of the best trained soldiers in the realm. Nature is feudal. Advantage, weapon master. Trained footmen units have a +1 melee combat due to superior weapons. Difficulty is medium. And here you can see the army types. We've got militia, levy, swordsmen, men-at-arms, lancers, light cav, heavy cav, archers, siege weapons, galley, and mercenaries. So we've got a few here to choose from. We've got Celestia. See here, their nature is benevolent. They have no advantages. Here, many of the same type. They're a religious kingdom. Then we've got Drex Nakar, lizard folk. They are tribal. They are also immune. Kingdom is not affected by plague events. And we can kind of go through here. We've got benevolent. Trying to see if we can find one. They are lawful. So we have feudal, lawful, benevolent, tribal, and I'm trying to find here. We got tyrannical, the Malefi order. So let's see the army types. Walking Dead, Bonefoot Scourge, the Lich Guard, Spectral Riders, Tomb Flame Catapults, Bone Ship, and Mercenary. So there are a lot of different varieties you can pick from here. We see here a tribal one, Trodagan, built on treachery and occasional assassination. So I'm going to go through these real quick, not with you, and I'll be back in a second to show you who I have chosen. So I have decided to go with a lawful realm, Pelentara, a land formed of different small houses that in times of war elect a leader to command all forces against a common enemy. Each tribe has a vote based on the number of people they have. While there are disputes and some favoritism, they tend to treat each house fairly. Only once has a house had to be destroyed due to their pursuit of necromancy. Laws are agreed upon by all houses. Each house contributes its largest and strongest warriors to its elite group that represents the whole, the Stork Riger Fighters. So why did I pick them? I mean, they're lawful. It's kind of medium difficulty, which is fine. They have militia, levies, axemen, these Stork Riger Fighters, spearmen, ulverite, archer, siege weapons, galley, and mercenary. I picked them for a few very tangible reasons. One, they've got some interesting army types, specifically these Storkriger fighters. Kind of like that idea. I like the idea of lawful. If you're a classic D&D fan, you know law, neutrality, and chaos. They don't have any unique bonuses here. I like kind of a little bit their story. And of course, they just have kind of cool heraldry. So we are going to go with that. Just to make you guys aware, not everybody's human in this setting. I already showed that we've got the lizard folk you can choose from. You also have the Grimnir dwarves here, the Avendor elves, Zul'Goroth orcs. Then below here we've got the Morg's Crag goblins, and then we also have the Rasublad orcs. So there are other beings, other races you can pick from, but I like Pelantara. It's kind of in the middle, no major bonuses or anything like that. We'll kind of see how it goes. So I'm going to click start here. It's going to generate the world, and I'll see you in a second. Okay, here we are. So a little bit of turn summary here. Each turn is a month. Number of total game turns, 180. When there are 12 turns left, the game will count down the number of turns. So when you're in your last year, right now we are the month of winter in the year 636. I don't know if they're going to rename the months, but it's turn 0 of 180. You get a little bit here, Your Highness. A populated location produces 25% less food in winter, 25% more food in summer. This is very important when you are planning your economy. And I'll kind of, especially in this first episode, I'm going to go through everything here in the game and what it all means. Get an economic report. When winter approaches, purchase food from the market to have sufficient food stored. Food is critical in maintaining stability in our army upkeep. Build granaries to increase food storage. So you have an economic report, production modified by stability. So it's 100%. Our production is good because our stability is at 50, which is the middle of the road, basically. Corruption modified by production is by 0%. 50 food was produced. Location produced less food than expected due to winter. 47 food required by the population. 8 food required by our armies and navies. Our kingdom produces an adequate amount of food to support our people and armies. Settlers waiting for placement is 4. Total surplus food for next month, 45. So it's going to start whittling down. 39 gold upkeep for our armies and navies, 1 gold upkeep for our maintenance of our buildings. We have no armies on the frontier outside the supply chain. We have no armies being ferried at the moment. Alchemist report, Your Majesty research is progressing well, but there's nothing new to report. We've got a governor report. No improvements have been shown in our governor's capabilities. Collaboration report, eminence. We are not collaborating on research with the other kingdoms. Trade report. We are not trading with other kingdoms. We have no agreement report and enemy heroes report. There are no enemies of the kingdom in our lands. So this is it's not an RTS game, so you really do need to, up here, end a turn. You can see where we are located all the way in the north here. If I zoom out further, you can see this is a huge continent. It's a single continent, no islands. And we can kind of scroll in here to see who is around us. We've got Vorkalak to the south. We've got Rushturuth here to our southwest. To the southeast, we have Asverevs or Asurius. Not sure if that's a V or a U. We've got Vanamator all the way down here to the south. We've got the Avendor elves up here. Merillion, we know they're kind of an evil realm. Celestia, they're kind of good. Branmarth, we need to look at. Leon. Got some smaller pockets here. Some smaller realms throughout. Let's see. We've got Avanar. We've got the goblins all the way down here in a Malefi order over here. So, yeah, that's kind of where we sit right now. We have an overview. We've got kind of our ice coast here. We've got a red cursed march, wandering woods, Thunder Shadow Cliff, the Frost Glow Highland here in the Cloud Peak Mountains on the south side. You can see the different types of terrain that we have here. So we've got grasslands, kind of mixed there. We've got forest. So these are open grasslands. Then we've got hills here. We've got mountains. And then over here, we've got marshland. And then here we've got coastal water. And out here, sea. We've got a few roads that cut through. We also have rivers as well. So, going top side. So again, this episode is going to be a little bit more generic, kind of overview of the game, what we have going on here, and then we'll dive more and more into it. You can see down here in the bottom is a mini map, and that sword shows where you are on that map right now. So, left to right, our resources, location control with 47 population of a total of 659. Our stability is 50. Bureaucratic corruption right now at 0%. Gold, we have 175 with a, or plus 114 with 74 coming in. Then we've got a food of 50 with minus 5 each turn. So we are losing more and more food every month. So we need to get our food production up for sure. Iron is at plus 13. We've got a surplus in wood, surplus in horses, stone of 5, and then shards of 8. All of these are, shards kind of your magical resource. You need that a lot for a lot of different things. But these are your different resources to produce things. So if we go here to the economy, economic overview of Palantara, we are lawful. You can see here our population, our total food storage goes up to 94, recruitment plus 23, and you can see our food upkeep and our gold upkeep costs. Production right now, this is what we are producing. So we've got a pretty good production going on here. Here's your market, so you can sell. So you can buy over here and you can sell over here. If we go to shards, we've got nothing to sell. We can buy 10 for 440. So, yeah, this is a very expensive commodity. Stone is a little bit less. Horses are more than stone. Wood is, looks like as much as stone. Iron is more. Food is more as well. Market quantities, this shows you how much is in the market right now, and this is how much our stockpile is. We can see our different cohorts here of our military, and down here, so here are the Ulverite cavalry, composed of large wolves ridden by expert riders. They are well-trained in a variety of tactics. They are excellent at running down fleeing enemy foot soldiers. We have galleys as well. We have militia, spearmen, siege riders, our archers here as well. You can see there are different, let's call it unit abilities. So advantage contributes to cavalry advantage, half combat when attacking locations. And of course, we have our Stork Rider fighters, Stork Riger. Well-trained foot soldiers able to engage in heavy combat. They are comprised of the largest and strongest of the tribes. They are armed with well-made weapons, chainmail, and a shield. So we're essentially a northern tribal society. But we are lawful, so we're kind of in between. So think of it as separate warlords that come together in times of crisis. We could also build a Stork Rider, but, you know, we've got an issue here. This would eat up a lot of our gold. We do not have enough iron. We have plenty of recruits. What we could definitely build are more militia, levies. We don't have the wood. Axemen, we don't have anything for. Spearmen, we can't afford. So it always shows you here what you're kind of short on. And then, of course, mercenaries basically just cost money. So this is what you all can build. Then if we go here to districts, so this shows us in the different settlements we have, what is the current buildings are. We have barracks here in Umswirl, which is our metropolis. And then the different things you can produce. So a granary is a storehouse for threshed grain. It really doesn't do anything. We've got a harvester here. Increases food and wood production based on research, upkeep, 1 gold. But we don't have the wood, stone, or shards to do any of this. Same with a nullifier. Epitome of magical research. So we really, right now, we can't really manufacture anything because we simply don't have the resources to do that. You can see our different locations here. Right now, we've got Unswirl. Where's Unswirl? Right here. Unswirl is a metropolis, one of only a few monumental city fortresses in the land, encompassing trade and commerce with tens of thousands of people. A massive fortification surrounds the city with a large castle representing the center of power for the kingdom. And here you can see our military units that are here right now. We've got axemen, Ulverite cavalry, and then siege weapons and levies. No leader because we have nobody we've recruited there right now. Then we've got Wyglow, which is a town. Town here. Fortification, food storage, no descent. So if we go back here to districts, you can see Wyglow is a town, population 5. So it's abstracted, of course. Fortification level 2 of 5. Food storage produces 1 shard, 1 stone, 5 wood, iron, food, and gold. So this is very important for our gold and food production. So where is Wyglow? Is right here. Go to the next one here. Okay. Zerwall, kind of on our eastern side here on the edge of the Red Cursed March. Another town, decent gold and food production, some iron, not much for horses and stones, got good food storage, no current buildings here. Then we go to Zen Vortex, right here in the middle of these grasslands. Not much there, some food production, a lot of gold. So they produce a lot of gold. That's very important for our economy. Then Umswirl, we already talked about. Gold and food, very high. A lot of food storage. Then we've got Yenwal, a town here on the coast. They don't really produce much of anything, but they are a good coastal town. Then we've got Enwick, a village down here in the Frostglow Highlands. Some gold, some food, some iron. So this is probably a location where we can look at expanding to see if we can, do more iron production. So like the excavator here increases iron stone production, but again, we need stuff to do stuff with it. We can use a settler to increase the population here, and settlers will increase production as well. Then we've got Drell Brook, a town here, kind of a border town here to our neighbors to the west. Let's see, are they producing? They produce a decent amount of gold. Gold production is in Des Expanse, down here. Then the village of Kalchheim, also heading towards the border regions down here. Gold production, really not much else here. Hill Pinnacle in the center, right on the edge of the woods. And then back to Wyglow. So there you can see that. We've got our research. So we've got 6 alchemists. And right now, a maximum of 20. We've got all of them idle. So the question is, what do we want to research? So our knowledge is neophyte in pretty much everything. So we can go with formations, detailed study of army organization. So each knowledge level increases the morale of an army by 10%. Coordination, adaptation, communication, and mobility are the key elements for successful assault between cohorts in an army. Each knowledge level increases the cavalry combat value by 10%. Conviction magic. So here in adventures, each level increases armor and heals by +1 per spellcaster. Intellect magic in adventures, each level increases ward, penetration, and weakness effects by +1 per spellcaster. Enchantment increases the maximum military unit enchantment level. Each level increases combat and armor ratings of military units by +1. construct magic. Each knowledge level allows the construction of additional unit unique to each kingdom. So this is an interesting way. Call it, maybe constructing like golems in a way. Fortification. Each knowledge level allows +1 maximum fortification level to be built. Purifier increases shard production by +3 up to +6 to location. Amount. Harvester increases food and wood production, and excavator increases iron production. So I feel like right now what we need to do is invest heavily in production. So we're going to just put 2 in each of these. So that's going to max out our alchemists and to slowly increase here. So these are the bonuses per progress level. Actually, I'm going to drop excavator and I'm going to put 1 more in harvester so we can increase our food production a little bit more, because that is really where we are hurting. And of course, we need more shard production as well. Next up here is diplomacy. So we can look at the different stances right now. Everybody is neutral towards us. Once you have sent emissaries and you start building relationships, you can do more diplomacy. So this is a game, it's not just about warfare. Of course, warfare, conquering territories. The developer has said that if you try to do map painting in this game, it's going to be really, really difficult, as more kingdoms will band against you over the course of time. So we're going to get back to diplomacy here in a second. Summaries. This just gives you a general summary of what's going on everywhere, which is kind of nice. Forces, victory. You can see the overall strength, who's really, really strong in their relative strength and their wealth, also their population and the victory points. You can see here, we don't know anybody's army composition. We have 33. Our overall strength is 168. So you can see the Malefi order is really low. They've got a very weak economic strength, very low population. So this is a good way to kind of see who would be worth targeting. Your overall population, of course, dominating Celestia wouldn't be one to go after. But like these guys here, Uncium, Olgisidium, those would be ones to kind of go after. Fallen heroes. So we have no heroes that have fallen in battles so far. You can attach heroes also to armies to lead them. Here you can see the total of our units, our achievements, and then the overall notes. Battles, we have no battles fought. Heroes, we'll get to that in a little bit. We've got no recruits right now. We're not spending that money. So before we go into heroes, let's take a quick look here at who is around us. So we've got Rashturuth. So let's go to diplomacy. Rashturuth is, let's reduce this here real quick. Rashturuth is right here. They are lawful. So I think it would be good to send an emissary to them. So this shows you also, if you go to war, what the stability drop is. And stability, if your stability goes down, you're going to lose production. So let's send an emissary here. My king, our emissary, will arrive at the end of the month. Then let's go over here. We've got Benevolent Realm of Ansurius. Excuse me. They are our neighbors as well. So let's send an emissary there. We still have 2 more emissaries available. And to the south, we have Tyrannical Vorkalak. All right, so we've got a tyrannical government just to the south. So this is one we're going to have to keep an eye on. So if we're going to build an alliance, I think a northern alliance will be really, really important. We've got the Malefi Order here. They're also tyrannical. And we've got the Morgscrag Goblins to the south. Vanamatsor, they are feudal. So I think it'd be important that we gain an alliance with them Who's this? This is the Malefi Order. They are also tyrannical. Those are ones that could be subject to going after. But Vanmator, Vanamator, let's send an emissary there as well. And then I think the Avendor Elves could be a really good trade partner for us here also in the north. So it's going to kind of focus on a northern alliance. If we look at who's down here, you can see the stance here right now is neutral. That'll change over time. And if you zoom out on the diplomatic screen, you can see how everyone's attitude towards you is. This is our most likely quickest enemy that we're going to have to deal with. So I think the Avendor Elves, we're also going to send an emissary there. So all of our emissaries have been sent. So now I want to go and to our heroes. So this is the next thing. So you can recruit heroes. You want to build up a party of at least 6 heroes before you start adventuring. And adventuring means you go, you look at rumors, you find rumors, you explore the rumors, see what it is, if there's a location there, and then you go explore that. You have location, you have a name, class, and the experience because, again, they will go up. So right now we've got recruit new heroes. We have 3 it looks like we can pick from. We've got Kessie, a cleric, that costs us 26 gold. Then we've got Ometia, sorcerer, for 28 gold. And Azradir, a woodsman, recruit him. So now we have no more recruits to choose from. And let's take a look here. So Kessie, she obviously is a cleric. She is a conserver, resists magic, and a healer, level 1. Lawful, strength of 2, cleverness of 3, intelligence of 3, conviction of 4, health 6 out of 6, weapon 2, armor 4, melee power is 5, magic power is 4, defense 5, resistance 3, healing 8, leadership 8. You can see your XP right now is at 0, XP goal is at 78. Biography, a divine communicator, an attractive appearance to go with their blade skill. So there is Kessie. Then we have, and you can dismiss the heroes as well. Then we have Ometia. Ometia is a sorcerer or sorceress. She Aegis, so she adds, or Aegis, adds armor, and sorcerer lowers resistant and immune. So her nature is feudal. You can see her strengths here. She needs 84 as her XP goal. A wide-eyed ignorant mage with various markings on their arms that is aware of things most do not notice. Their voice drones on when they speak with its flat tone. Then we've got Azradir, a woodsman, kind of a warrior here. Block, so plus 4 to armor. Sylvan, so plus 15%. Leave adventure. I don't actually know what that means. You can see here melee power of 7. Ometia has a melee power of 7 as well. A defense of 1. He's got a defense of 9. So this is really our tank right now. So we've got no other heroes to recruit at this time. You can also see, if we click on our militia here, there's their strength, range, melee power, pursuit, food upkeep, gold upkeep, naval, and so on. So this is just our local militia. We've recruited our heroes. And now if I come down here, so this is our, down here by the Greenflow River and the Thunder Shadow Cliff, down by the Briarreach Ridge, is really where our main enemy, Vorkolak, is. This is the area we need to somehow make sure that we are of highest strength. So what we're going to do here, we're going to take our main army. We currently have no leader. There's the command rating of 6, so there's really nothing there. What I want to do is send, you can see up here, so there are our heroes, and we'll talk about them again in a minute. We're going to send our main army. I think it would behoove us to send them south here. Kind of, I think to Drellbrook, or at least down towards the border. I mean, we're not in any open hostilities right now, but to strengthen that southern border, because right now we only have militia here. All of our towns are guarded by militia. I'm not worried currently about this border, but obviously, and I think the Cloud Peak Wilderness will or the Cloud Peak Mountains will help us. But sending our main forces down south just because I don't trust them. So that's as far as the army can move. So they could move here and here, but because they have to go through the woods, that's going to slow them down. But I had them send them down to Drellbrook. And now if we go here, we can tell them to govern. So they can govern this location. We could lead an army if they were in the same hex as an army, which they currently are not. They can gather rumors. They can hoodwink. They can... Hold on. They can enter. They can hoodwink. They can spread rumors and lower stability. They can explore rumors, extort, lead an army. So we're going to gather rumors. After a few too many drinks in a bar fight, resulting in nothing productive, we found some rumors. So you can see we've got some question marks here locally. So I think what we're going to do is omit Azadir. I want to send him down here and have him explore rumor for adventure. Our search has revealed no results. This was a false rumor. So he's now going to move here. We're going to explore this rumor. This was also a false rumor. But now you can see he's in the hex with the army, and we could have him explore. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to have Kessie and Ometia head down here. And we are going to... I think we're going to send our heroes not with the army. We're going to go in the other direction. Where's the most likely place for rumors, for adventure locations? I think a Red Cursed March would be good. We're going to send them just towards the next town here. Of course, he's already moved, so he's kind of stuck here. But we've got Kessie and Ometia. They're going to gather rumors here. A noble has paid us to discover the nature of this disturbance, marked it on the map. So, scroll out. You can see here. So we're not going to move them. We're going to wait here. Actually, we're going to move them together so we have the group move on the next turn. But here is that question mark. So there's a rumor down here. I think what we'll do is actually, from Hill Pinnacle, in the next turn, we'll head down to Dex Expanse and gather some rumors here. But for now, that is pretty much done everything that we can do. Here you can see what Umswirl looks like. Right now you can see that's fortifications level. And then our army here, which is heading down this way. So that shows a turn. We're going to click End Turn and head to the next month in the year 636. Okay, turn is done. It's the month of Winter End. So no events. Economic report here. Obviously, we're losing more and more food, which is, we need to figure out how we're going to increase that over time. Research is progressing, but there's nothing new to report here. No improvements have been shown to governors. Our stance with Celestia has changed to amiable. With Leon, amiable. So everything has gone to amiable. And then, other than that, really nothing to report here. If we go to our diplomacy. So again, this is amiable, so it's gone up. You can see it started at neutral. I think it was 30, but they're all ticking up slowly but surely. We can start opening up trade. So we get extra gold. We can instigate here, so that lowers stance between kingdoms. We can offer peace, or we can, of course, go to war. If we go to Vorkalak, if we go to war here, we lose 15 stability or more. We can see here stability cost minus 17. They have a trade agreement with Merlion. It's equal. Land forces are equal, so they do not have a navy. Neither do we. If we look at the description, born from the laws passed by their first ruler, you are safer leading the life of a peasant than a lord in Vorkalak. Laws are strict, but murder is legal under certain conditions. Assassination is the way to advance with proper cause. Peasants are valued due to their work in providing food and constructing buildings. No peasant may be executed for any crime except murder. Despite this, being a peasant within the kingdom is not easy, but it's more favorable than other kingdoms. Currently, Grosh sits on the throne until those below him feel he is unfit to lead. So again, this is the kingdom that we kind of got to keep an eye on a little bit. So if we look at here, so Merlion, they have an emissary at our court. The Avendor elves here. If we open trade, we gain extra gold. So how about we open trade? We offered a trade agreement to them, which would be good. Reports they have a trade agreement, so they're working a lot with Celestia, and they are also collaborating with them. Celestia, we can open trade there, but we've got our kind of where our emissaries are. I want to open trade there as well. This is a good way to gain extra gold so we can buy some of the resources that we need. So we're gonna open trade with everybody that we have an emissary sent to. Now, let's take a look here at the districts. So we cannot send any settlers here. Where can we send some settlers to? So we could send them here. So settlers will increase population and help with productivity. Don't really see Janwal as bringing us much. Enwick has some shard, wood, iron, and horse production. So let's send a settler there. That improves food and shard production +2. So that's really important. So they've now upgraded from a village to a town. Delbrook, horses and shard production. They have, okay, here, Dex Expanse. You can see here, iron, horses, stone, and shards. They have a town size of 5, so they are now considered a city. So gold, food, and iron production has gone up, not our shard production. Just kind of a bummer. Then where are we going to send anybody else to? Here, shard, stone, and food. Kind of look for somebody with a high food production. There you go. Wyglow has a really high food production in 10. Some iron, a lot of wood. So we're going to send people here. They are now also settlements. So we get +2 in food, +1 iron, +1 stone, +1 shard. That really helped. We've got another settler we can send somewhere. These guys produce a decent amount of food, iron, horses, and stone. They produce a lot of gold and some shards. So we're going to send another one here. So gold and food production is up. So that'll kick in after the next turn. Let's see, are there any more heroes? Yes, we can recruit a few more heroes. We've got another cleric. So we already have a sorceress, a cleric, and a woodsman. So we can add another cleric, a druid, who's a healer. Kessie is also a healer, and then Sarisha, a warrior. So we're going to recruit a warrior, and let's recruit a druid. I'd like to give it another turn, because I'd like to see if we can get something other than a cleric. to this group. I mean, granted, a cleric can also fight. So sure, we'll add another cleric. And these, we're going to move them all the way down here. So now we've got our group together here. And then in the next turn, as we have our adventurers group total, we're going to send them down here to Dex Expanse, get some rumors here, and then explore that rumor. But of course, we've got our army. We're going to keep moving them to the south. And not all of them can move, so we've split our army. Not exactly what you should do, but hey, we've sent our cavalry up front. I'm not really concerned with that right now. If they get here first, kind of on the south bank of the Greenflow River, I think that'll set them here, or at least into Delbrook. We'll put them into Delbrook. All right, so that is it for this turn. We'll bump forward to the next turn. All right, turn summary. We are now in the month of Spring Dawn. Production, so nothing goes down here. We have food production, so less produced in the winter, but our food production has gone up, of course. We're still losing food. So, surplus food for next month, 34. Gold right now, we're producing a lot of gold. We're producing a good amount of iron, wood, horses, stone. Shards have really gone up. That's huge. Let's see. We've gotten some that have gone to friendly. And Umswirl has been battered and damaged by a storm and will take some time to repair the damage created. So that's interesting to know. So a lot of amiable. No one's really gone negative. We've received trade offers, and everyone has accepted our trade offers. Trade report. Our trade with the Avendor Elves has yielded 16 gold for us and 17 gold for them. So obviously this means we've got a trade deficit. With Anceris, it's on average. So total gold revenue received 61, revenue traded away, that's 68. So it hasn't really been great for us. We've got a trade deficit here, which I'm not a big fan of. So if we go to diplomacy, Celestia, we're gonna accept their trade. Celestia, offer collaboration. They are, these are some of the so-called good guys. They're benevolent. So why not? Their economy is dominating. I mean, they're dominant. So let's offer collaboration with them. Then Salgare, we accept the trade, plus 5% extra gold. Here, they offers was sent to our kingdom. And what is it? Have been offered a peace agreement. So that will bump up our stability. Stability is really, really good. So we now have a tight relationship with Ansarius, which of course we wanted. And we will offer a collaboration with them. So their economy is stronger. They're definitely a stronger nation than us. And anybody else? Any other agreements out there? No, not at this time. We can offer a collaboration with them. They're equal to us. I think what we'll do here, Resh Turuth, they're our neighbors over here. So if we look, Resh Turuth is here. I think with Resh Turuth, it would be good to offer a peace agreement with them. And then as far as Vorkalak goes, diplomacy here with Vorkalak. I mean, we have amiable relationships with them. we're not gonna really do anything there. That's the most likely area for us to expand also. We can see another question mark here. Looks like there's another adventure location there, but of course, if we go into a neighboring kingdom's realm, that will probably have a negative effect. So what we're going to do here, though, is we are just going to Scroll over this way. We're going to move our military. Maximum units in a hex is 6. So we're going to... Oh, I guess we can't do that. Oh, it's because of probably the size of the settlement. So we're just going to move our main host of infantry down here. And our siege weapons... Actually, that's not smart. We should have moved them down here. Anyway, now let's go over to our adventurers. We're going to send them right in here to Dex Expanse, or Des Expanse. I'm going to gather some rumors. Nothing productive. I found this wanted scroll outside the tavern. Okay. And now, we can see here, there's another location here. We're going to send everybody down here. We're going to explore this rumor. Entrance to something foul and unwanted. Ooh, okay, so we have a dungeon here, but we're going to enter this dungeon or this adventure location on the next episode. First, I haven't even looked at our new heroes. So let's go here to our heroes and the new ones. We have the Druid Dulari. Servant of the Earth, signs show they were a commoner in the past. Then we had Rorik. He adds armor and is a healer. Faithful Voice, family is killed by Unhallowed. And Sarisha, a warrior. She has Tactician, Intelligent Cleverness, bonus to combat. So she's somebody who could eventually lead an army and block +4 to armor. Novice fighter skilled with the sword and shield, a rather young-looking hero. But now what we have is we've got kind of 2 warriors, a few healers, and a sorceress. But that'll be for the next episode here. I hope you're enjoying this playthrough, this first look at Kingdom, Dungeon, and Hero. I really like it. It's a bit of a slow burn game, I will give you that. It's going to take a little bit to kind of get into it and build things. It's a very methodical game. It's more complex, hex and counter. I love these types of games. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but if you are enjoying it and you're curious to see what happens next in these, with specifically these adventures, that's what our focus is going to be in the next episode. Let me know down in the comments below. Also, if you have played Kingdom, Dungeon, and Hero, there's going to be a link to the game on Steam down in the description. And of course, if you want to support what I do here, like, share, view, comment, always appreciated. You can also check out Patreon or buy me a coffee as well. Patreon, I'm developing more and more there over time, specifically as far as it goes with developing content, also for tabletop stuff. Anyway, and there's a link to my website down below as well, which is a tabletop role-playing game blog. So until next time, I'm Rumbler Guy, and I will talk to you soon.